everybody. It is Monday night. Time for another episode of your favorite podcast, the Horns Forward Podcast. Super exciting night tonight. We're going to go around the horn. We're going to all announce ourselves. But very exciting night. We've got a very, very special guest. Cannot wait for you guys to meet him and for him to tell us a little bit more about himself and some of the things that he has done and is doing with our favorite football team. But let's start with their introductions first. Ladies first.
Oh, that's me. 2-0 Bramacita, Jackie.
I mean, you are the only lady on here, so
that's me. That's I said. That's me.
But I think he didn't do us enough justice. This is the best USFL,
Period.
XFL, UFL podcast on the nation, in the nation actually, not on the nation, but on the net, I could say. But yeah,
on the net.
And I am DJ.
Interwebs.
There you go.
Hey, you guys know me. I'm BD, and you know what? We're gonna get this started off right.
Already cracked mine.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ross.
Cheers.
And of course,
Not
you guys
sponsored.
know me. I'm the loudmouth of the South, SAJ. I will say I'm a little bit biased. This is one of the two best shows that's on the internet covering the UFL, whether it be USFL and Birmingham Trash or the mighty San Antonio Brahmas.
What's
the other one would happen to be Texans Talking Football.
But you are a part of that.
You
are a part of that podcast, though. So
exactly,
it adds into this. We are one.
But that's why I said
it's a brother station,
brother podcast.
Yeah, we the brothers of the brothers, you know. So
brothers and brothers,
same family,
guys,
you know.
Cheers, horns up, horns forward, horns forward.
Man,
horns up. Oh my goodness.
This is what happens when you're in off season. You forget how to be a Brahma. Apparently,
forget how to be a Brahma. You know who doesn't forget how to be a Brahma though? Our guest tonight. This guy, for most of you, probably doesn't need an introduction. If you're anywhere in and around the San Antonio area, you know this guy because you either have kids that play for him, or you are a kid and you play for him, or your kids have played against him, or you're a kid that's played against him. And I'm sure there's a little bit of a rivalry there. But we're going to get into all that in a little bit.
Or you're a grandparent of somebody who knows somebody who has a
your prima.
That could be
your
too.
Tia.
But this.
I'm just gonna bring him in. Yeah.
Coach
just bring him.
Bullock,
bring him on.
Coach Matthew Bullock, join the party.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Thank y'all so much for having me. What's going on? How y'all doing?
Hello.
Doing great, Coach.
How are you doing?
Thank you so much for joining us. So,
thank you for having me.
Do a little bit of shameless plug. Coach, why don't you tell us, like, we're going to get into, the off season, or not the off season stuff, but the regular season stuff that you were doing. But I think it's worth kind of a little bit of a shameless plug right now. What are you currently up to? What do you have going on while you're enjoying your off season with the Brahmas?
Right now, I'm a teacher and a coach at San Antonio Veterans Memorial. We're in the Judson Independent School District. We're the newer school, so it's Judson, Wagner, then us. We're 5A Division II, and so we're in a conquest just to continue to finish our season strong and, get a bid for the playoffs.
And very excited about that.
I'm sorry?
I said, how's the season going right now for you guys?
We have a very young team. We've been fortunate to have two big programs that are ranked in the top 10 that we played back to back. So this year, it's a lot of underclassmen, a lot of football players first time playing varsity. I'm very proud of them because one thing about our kids, they fight, they acclimate, but it's one of them things where it doesn't come to fruition until next season, as they get older. So they're getting some good seasoning, I should say.
You guys.
Yeah, so we lost a dynamic team last year. We graduated a running back that went to Ohio State, and he had a lot of good pieces around him. We're fairly a new staff in a way, and so we're revamping and evolving, but we're still staying the course of competing and getting the job done.
Well, especially playing with the powerhouses and stuff that you are, like even if you don't win the games this year, I mean it's great practice for the kids to go up against a really good team just to get that experience, just to kind of learn how to play.
That's all it's about. It's the same way, I guess, the correlation with the Brahmas, because you have a lot of athletes that I try to explain to people. You see these guys in the UFL, but at one point they all played in the NFL before. They were in the USFL, the CFL. They played at top Division I programs. These are bowl winners you see here. Something just transpired and happened where right now they're playing in the UFL either because of cuts, personal issues, or et cetera. But, the one thing that you've seen, we've sent, and I think the last time that y'all talked, it was 88 players, but, it's been more. We just had a gentleman, Dalton, a defensive tackle, signed with the Cowboys. And so it's a reinvention. So, yeah, they get the season, and I look forward to seeing what the development will be.
Very cool. Very cool. I also think it's very cool that you personally have a little bit of that professional football experience that you can actually tell the kids that, hey, if you're serious about this, this is never a guarantee, right? Because you've got a 1 in a million shot. But if you want a real opportunity, these are the kinds of things that you have to do. Like we're seeing it on the football field every day. So for some of these up and coming players, what advice would you give them as far as what they need to do if they're serious about, like making this an actual football career? Like what are some tips and tricks that you could give them?
The most symmetrical mainstream thing that I could tell my athletes, as well as what I tell the athletes who come to the tryouts, college, and even in the combines, just make sure you get out of your head. A lot of guys, they're their own main killer. And, you'll see guys who are dynamic. They have all the skills. They perform well. They overthink. There's no patience. They rush it. So once you're able to, I think, come to a peace of mind as far as like, hey, this is what I do, then just do it. Keep it simple at the same time. Obviously, you'll have a lot of coaches talk about the work ethic, working in off season, and everybody's going to go get their trainers and such, but it's really like what makes you stand out. I like players who have a high IQ where they're able to be analytical on the field. I could get anybody who could run back and forth, but, can you process, at a certain level? And, can we go ahead and just be deductive in our reasoning as far as like how we're going to attack the offense or the defense necessarily? Obviously, we're looking for guys, that also correlates with the classroom, making sure that you have high grades because you have to be intelligent to process all the calls and everything that's happening. If you do not, in a sense, it puts people's jobs on the line. It puts the market on the line. So, our goal is to put the best market forward, the best product forward. And even the same way, with our students, work hard, make sure you're doing your best as far as like in college. A lot of people say they want to try out. Make sure you get invited to a pro day, to a combine, because, a lot of UFL teams, and I'll talk, I guess, a little bit about this. We're looking for guys that we could bring in that had those opportunities, that were able to compete or go at the higher level, if that makes sense.
Before we jump into the good stuff, I see a flag back there. Are you a veteran?
I am not. My wife is. And
Okay.
so was my uncle. And so at his homegoing, I was able to get his. And they both served in the Army, Fort Sam Houston down here. And she worked at BAMC. So she should be looking. Hey, babe.
Aw, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service battle, because I'm a veteran as well. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know everything that y'all went through or the sacrifices, but I don't take it for granted or lightly.
it's a good experience, But I mean, I wouldn't say it was as crazy as I've heard like most stories from most veterans. But yeah, it's definitely a sacrifice. So to kind of like jump into the good stuff, me being a coach as well, I'm coaching the little kids. That's why I haven't been really like active on here. But I'm coaching the flag team.
You're coaching little future superstars. I'm sorry,
Man,
you're taking it. He's saying it very lightly.
I
His
mean,
kids, even his own son, they're very, very good athletes for their age.
I don't
Yeah.
like to toot my own horn, but I'm trying to be
Yes,
where he
toot.
at. I'm trying to be where he at. That's my goal. But yeah, we are 4-3 right now, and we playing for the second seed into the playoffs as well. So
Let's go.
We're doing our thing, a little something,
There
But
you go.
talk about tell us about your experiences with the Brahmas, man, because we all love the Brahmas. I'm sure you love the Brahmas. Yeah, tell us about how the season went. I guess like a little bit of you guys' expectation going into the season. Also, like, what do you do? I know it's kind of like a couple questions, but also like, what do you do just for people that don't know, and your guys' expectations, and how the outcome came about for you guys.
Well, obviously, the expectation is to always, go win the championship and bring one back to the Alamo City. I see the question: how difficult is it to establish traditions with a new team? Coach Phillips, Coach Reed, our GM Mark Lillibridge, they have championship expectations. If they did it, I don't think that they would have been brought in, to supplement, the void that was left by the staff that was before them. The thing is, what I love about the staff is that it's kind of like the fantasy football waiver wire. Every week I was fortunate to meet, new guys who showed up because either they opted out of the contract, something happened, they got picked up, who knows what it could be. But, it didn't matter. The program was always moving forward. Guys with injuries and such. So it was kind of like, the next man up. And everybody we brought onto the team, they had that same expectation. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence, started from the bottom and how we were selected to not perform to any degree and be at last. And then all of a sudden, here we are giving Birmingham not only their first loss, but then go to St. Louis, give them a loss in their home arena, but to return. Now, a lot of people, there's a lot of skepticism because, of our performance and, how we went. And I think that comes back as far as like, taking it back strategically, what could we have done differently? And it goes back, I think, even to what I was saying about my high school kids. This is the first time that we went to the championship. A lot of guys we re-signed. A lot of guys, if they got a chance to go to the NFL level, should things not work out, we'll re-sign them again. And then you've seen the new additions like Kellen Mond, Joshua Cephas. I mean, there's a lot of good parts, and
getting me excited.
And and it's nothing about those who are current on the roster, but what I respect so much about Lillibridge and Coach Phillips is that we have chess pieces, but they're the ones who are creating the pieces and placing them on the board. And so I love the city of San Antonio because we're getting players that I think fit our culture, and that's why I look forward to when March comes around and we can ride again to see what we have.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. Period.
So let me ask you this, because I know we were talking about it a little bit in the beginning. How did you come about being a coach on the San Antonio Brahmas staff? Because I think you might have been around a little bit longer than some people realize.
So I just always had this inclination that I wanted to coach at the top level. And so I was applying for colleges, and then there's a fellowship called the Bill Walsh Fellowship for the NFL. Made some attempts there, had a few interviews, but I didn't have enough clout, if that makes sense. All of a sudden, one day, I get an email from an organization called the National Coalition for Minority Coaches. And there was this lady that I met. Her name was Javée Brown, and she's the logistics director, I believe. Anyway, a UFL internship opened up for the Brahmas and for the DC Defenders. I emailed her. I said, hey, I'm in the city. This is what I want to do. This is what I've been doing in the meantime. God put it all together. This was on the Thursday before Good Friday. So it was just crazy. And then, but because it was going to the end of the season, I had got signed on a UFL portion. I mean, on an XFL portion at that time. But Under Armour, trying to get my contract and for that to blend together, there was still somewhat of a conflict. So then that finally got handled. I joined Hines Ward and his staff for the Orlando Guardians. And then we won that game, lost to Houston, I think, the following week. Then we came back, and you might have saw when we played DC and we kicked that field goal, made it, they called timeout and then missed it. Yeah, I know.
You're reminding me all over again, Coach.
But you know what? It's because of those feelings, that void, those scars, I think, that, left the emptiness in guys to be more hungry to, for us to have the season we had this year. So I reached out to her. We talked, and I pretty much asked, I got a portion of it. You can't leave me hungry like this. I'm starving. Can I get another chance? So now each UFL team has an intern through the coalition, but me and the gentleman, Coach Eric Ali, he's at a prep school in Maryland, where I guess you could say the first class, if you will. The first two the hybrid, the first class this year. So I did a lot of on the field quality control for the defense, breaking down scouting, et cetera, et cetera. And then this year, my role was a little bit different in the summer, helping Mr. Lillibridge as far as like schematics, scouting, et cetera.
When you said that you was in the city, you talking about San Antonio, or you talking about DC?
Yeah, no, I'm
DC?
from I'm from the 210. I am from here.
Oh, okay.
Period.
Yeah, so
Let's go, baby.
I grew up on the west side. I went to Jay High School. I taught at north side for a while. I was here at a middle school, a feeder school for Warren, a feeder school for Wagner, and now I'm at Veteran. So yeah, now I'm a product of the city. So when people talk about keeping the Brahmas here, like I'm telling y'all, like we love y'all.
Hold up, do you got a sombrero or what?
I just got the cap though.
Come on, man, you got to join the team, man. If I got one, you got to have one.
I gotta have one.
All right.
This coming season, we'll make sure we get you one for sure.
Yes, sir.
Man, when we get dressed, my whole thing is just making sure I have Under Armour and it is black and yellow, and I carry around like 10 pencils, 3 color pens, and I'm just writing everything that I could possibly get. So, but now I gotta give you a sombrero.
I feel it.
So
Yeah.
what are kind of some of the biggest things that you've learned kind of being a part of the Hines Ward Brahmas team and the Wade Phillips Brahmas team, kind of interning for them, like just what are some of the biggest things you've learned from them, from both coaches?
When it came to Coach Ward, because I was only around him for 2 weeks, and because when he's in his zone, I kept my space, if that makes sense. Because, at that time, we still had a chance to get a playoff bid had we, got the DC victory. When being around Coach Ward, I got to see all the hands that are involved that nobody gets to see. There's a lot of people that are involved, a lot of behind the scenes that, I can't think of his name because I'm just going blank right now. You had interviewed him 4 days ago before me.
Jacob.
And now he's at Akron. Thompson.
Jacob. Yeah, Thompson.
And so, seeing what he does and then all the logistical stuff that's behind, I was on the field and it was more of an observation. And I think, for that portion, we were trying to find our identity, if that makes sense, because, here we are, here's Coach Ward. Everybody knows the name. How do we make this work? I think this year, when it came to Coach Phillips, you got a head coach. You got a guy who's been through the process and he's seasoned in his experience. You look at Coach Phillips. If you go back and look at the Dallas Cowboys Hard Knocks, our offensive line coach, Andre Giroir, Will Reed, I think he was an intern with him all that time. Some of these guys
talk to us.
And then it was the group that came from Houston. So I could say that it was a chemistry that I got to see. And then by seeing the chemistry seeing everybody sink in, it was allowed me to see things from a different perspective, especially from learning everybody. You see a formation like this, but depending on where personnel is and the schematics of it, it gets real complicated. So I definitely grew, and but seeing how these gentlemen, how they went about their game planning was impressive.
I mean, as a fan, seeing the comparison from season 1 to season 2, you could absolutely see it. Like, we could see exactly what you're talking about. Wade picking those chess pieces like perfectly. That's why we say in Wade we trust.
Yes. Coach Phillips does such a phenomenal job, and his support, his wife and his family that come around. But the really cool thing about Coach Phillips is that our media personnel, Jay Noakes, some of the media that he caught, all the stuff that you see, he does a phenomenal job. When you see Coach Phillips come in, I never seen him necessarily have to yell, have to get too excited. When he speaks, it gets silent and everything is of substance. And so you're trying to take everything and everybody bites onto the words. And so, in Wade, we trust, and the staff that he trusts, I think it says something.
Yeah. What game was it? I remember they showed him when he got upset, and just the way, because when we had the privilege of being able to talk to Coach before the season started at the Fan Fest. And he told us what his vision was of, it wasn't just about football for him. It was about building character and building this, helping this man become a man. And then seeing that at a game because we were at all the games, so we didn't get to see these extra little pieces, but the way he got upset, the way he told him, are you being selfish? Are you not thinking about the team? You could just see how he was coaching these men. And it was just even for that, for me, I was like, wow, like, ooh, okay, coach.
Did
I'm
y'all
talking about Nelson.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It was the Memphis game.
Nelson.
And yeah, it was the one of the players. He got a personal foul, whatever. Got kind of it after the play, and the coach said, are you going to show off whatever, or you're going to let your team down? And just didn't yell, like you said, didn't yell at him, didn't scream, didn't curse. It was just the I'm disappointed in you that you would make a selfish decision, and it was just
that's worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, coach. I would cry.
That's actually
he's very concise, and he doesn't have to say a lot of words. And so he's articulate and accurate in what he wants in regard to his execution. He has the personnel to do it. But it really stood out for me that I thought was so cool. And I hated this guy was such a monster to me. I was so impressed with him, and I hated breaking film down on him. And I hope I don't get his name wrong. Hakeem Butler from the Battle.
From St. Louis. Wide receiver, 88, yeah.
I'll never forget that name.
Did you
Hakeem?
Yeah.
The mariachi would yell at his name the entire game. So that was like there's certain players' names that he yelled purposely, and Hakeem was one of them. So it's like stuck in my head. Hakeem.
After we were able to secure that victory, Hakeem came over to him. And
yes.
Phillips was in the interview, and he stopped to say, "Hey, I'm gonna make some calls." He recognized you the chance.
Yes,
I just thought that was so cool because I haven't seen that from any coach at any level. And he not only cares about his Brahmas, but he cares about everybody. I thought that was a great thing.
We got lucky. We got very lucky snagging him. I'm so happy that he chose to stay here.
Me too.
That's for sure. Woo. I cannot. So, the last season we lost. The first season we lost right before we lost that championship. I can't even imagine what they're going to come back with this season. It's just going to be triple harder than the last two seasons. That's what I feel.
I agree. Like I said, we've added some chess pieces, and now we have some seasoned chess pieces. So, Mark Lillibridge, Coach Phillips, I have trust that if we've had this big of an improvement in year 2, I can only imagine where year 3 goes, and especially the confidence, for us to, compete with Birmingham. And, it happens. It happens on all levels. Sometimes, the performance is not what it should be, but, it's not that wasn't our intention. And, maybe at that time, we just did not have the pieces we needed at that time. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but I'm excited to see where we're going to go from here. Having a year to come back as the XFL champions and then to be the runner-up, we have no place but to go up. And because of our staff does a great job. You can have all the pieces you want, but if you don't have the coaches for it, it doesn't mean nothing.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask this. How much are we going to destroy Birmingham by the next time we play them?
Look. Look. You ain't even got to answer that. You ain't got to answer that. Look. I got it. No, I got you. And we all know we got hits out for Birmingham. We got hits out for St. Louis. Them my top 2. But anyway, I'm gonna get to more of a coaching question, right? So, the coaches that I look up to and I look for for advice or just watching their videos for inspiration and stuff is my top 3 would be Deion Sanders, Nick Saban, and now Wade Phillips. Well, not now, but I always like Wade Phillips, but I think it's more personal now that we see him, we close to him, we could talk to him type of thing. We took pictures with him. Even Jay right here had an interview with him, stuff like that. So that's more personal. So we get to see him more often, especially during the season. What are some of your inspirations when you look at different coaches and stuff and try to take bits and pieces from them?
The 2 coaches that come to mind, for the first one for me is going to be Coach Belichick. What I liked about New England is that he reminded me a lot of Greg Popovich. When everybody was looking here, and trying to get all these superstars, I always felt like Popovich was going overseas and he was just getting guys that you never heard of. He'd get them into the program, and then we were successful, with the Spurs. And when I see what Coach Belichick is able to do with like second, third, fourth round and, just buy into the program and just make it work, the way he breaks things down, I've always just thought that was phenomenal to me. He's probably the other guy that I like. The first year at the XFL when the Arlington Renegades played the DC Defenders, I got a chance to hang out with the DC Defenders and their defensive coordinator, Greg Williams. And the way he talks and how he breaks things, I love the way for the time period that I was with him, how he addresses his room, how he goes about his presentation, his PowerPoint, and how meaningful he is, as far as like destroying and being very chaotic, intellectual violence in regard to when we take the field. So there's a lot of things that I took from that I try to use with my own kids. But if I had to tell you off the top of my head, when it comes to like two coaches, as far as like just analyzing, breaking it down and process, Coach Belichick, building a team, building a foundation. When it comes, I think, to controlling the room, getting what you want and letting you know that it's business, Coach Williams.
Love it. Love it.
Love it, man.
I said that for years, like when the Patriots were winning, like, man, they're the Spurs of the NFL for exactly the reasons that you said. It was just, yeah, they had great players, a couple of them, but they had great role players that just they knew their role and they did it fantastically because they were coached. So.
Mm-hmm.
Man, me being a Pats fan, I can't believe I didn't say Belichick, but it's all good though. I love Belichick. I love Belichick.
I'm watching his new show, that coaching show where he gives perspective. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
It is. You get to see a different side of him though.
Absolutely.
When you was in DC, me being a DC native, you could be honest. How you like your time in DC? How did you like your time in DC? What's your feelings on DC?
So I'll put it like this. I didn't get to go to DC because remember that first year they had the championship game in San Antonio for the XFL. And so, but being around the DC team, they have a certain energy about them. I wouldn't even call it a swag. It's just a certain vibe that is very unique. Here's the best way I could put it. The DC Defenders, they're about business, but it's almost like going to an HBCU homecoming, though. So it was very live, and I just love the energy. Coach Barlow, the whole staff, the way they welcomed me, they were really nice, and they were very opening. And the energy they have, they don't wait for you to jump into it. They're going to come pour it on you because whether you a Brahma or not, come be a part of this. So I really enjoyed. If that's a reflection of DC, then I liked it.
But you was in. We had to travel to DC. Did you anything from that travel?
I didn't get yeah, that's right. I don't think you were. So with my internship, I only got to do the home games. I didn't get to do the away games. Okay. So my role for the away games was as soon as the game was over, then I was breaking film down and getting film for the next opponent ready.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So kind of going into breaking film down, kind of what's your process for that? What are you looking for when you're getting film ready for the next opponent?
Well, as far as like my side, obviously it was breaking down formations, plays, down distance, etc. It was a lot of tagging. So that way I was able to tag about 5 to 6 games. And then the coaches, as they travel back to Arlington, they're able to process the whole thing, or they're able to watch the players are able to get a review of their game that they just played, and then here's the film for the week up ahead. So that way they can make their playbook as far as like how they want to go about business. Things that I'm looking for, personnel, where personnel is lined up, where they're matched up, why they do certain things. Just looking for certain patterns, sometimes you could see something as easy as if I was looking at, it was Birmingham in Michigan, and, this isn't no phenomenal catch. I'm not the most, observant person, but, they're getting ready to punt, and then you see the guy on the outside, and he's going like this, and then it's kind of like that's about to be a fake. They're about to throw it to him. And so, just any patterns as far as alignment, anything that I can do to give them that, could just make their lives a lot easier. And then through the course of it, I'll go back and I'll look at the game on TV and then, compare it to on film, seeing how the speed of it, certain calls, body language, very big, especially with the offensive line.
I feel like that's what I do when I go home after a game because I rewatch it.
I always rewatch it.
Yeah,
I always because I'm like, there's so much that I don't see because I'm
Yeah.
just so locked in. I
Mhm,
never leave my
mhm.
seat. I am standing the whole time. So as soon as I get home, I don't even like wash the makeup up. I still have the horns, and I'm just there watching the game all over again. And I feel like I'm an amateur analyzer.
There's been quite a few times where I'll get home from a game, whatever. As soon as just like you said, Jack, as soon as I sit down, turn the TV on, start watching the game, and my wife walks through, she's like,
Yeah.
"Weren't you just at this game?"
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Like, yeah, but I want to watch it back.
It's
I wanna
always
see the
interesting
stuff
what
that
you
I missed.
find. Yeah.
Yes.
It's always interesting. Sometimes even with my players at Veterans Memorial, a game will happen or even like with the game with the UFL, we'll get a victory and everybody's happy, but it was an ugly game though, because
Mhm.
there was a lot of mistakes made and there's a lot of things that we need to get together. One game that sticks out to me is like when St. Louis, when the Battlehawks came down here, our
Ugh.
game plan and going into it. But we needed that because I think that helped us in regard to the next one. And so sometimes the games aren't as good as they should be when you get the win. And then when you take the L, it's not as bad because the L's not a loss, it's a lesson.
Mhm.
That's a good way to look
That's
at
what
it.
that's what I
Actually,
teach my kids. That's what I teach my kids. But look, so going back to the home, so you at the home games.
Yes.
So you in the box, right?
Sometimes I'm in the box, and depending on what we need, you'll see me on the field with our play caller, Coach Acuff. He's our D line coach because
Mhm.
we'll have a few people in regards to like how we want to disperse our game plan. And sometimes you'll just see me walking around with a pad and markers, pencils, pens falling out and looking crazy, just trying to chart as much as I can and see as much as I can. Come, defense get a 3 and out, something to celebrate. You'll see me turn up with them on side of the field. We come up here. I'm coming with an iPad, markers, a clipboard. What you need, just to be as resourceful as I can.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I've been to all the home games and I ain't seen you not one time. I don't even know what it is. I just never seen you. But how
How
can
you're
you
not
talk
paying
about the
attention.
experiences in the dome? Talk about them experiences in the dome, on third down, all that. How do you receive that as a coach, and then like how do you see the players react to like? Because I think we got, even though we don't be having the dome pack like to the brim, I think we still loud though.
No, it's a phenomenal experience. I love our fan base, our crowd. It's nothing against DC and the Snake and all the other stuff, but I just think when it comes to San Antonio and our fan base, it's just pure. There's just something organic about. We're cheering. We're just not yelling just to yell. We everything is heard, and whether it's a loss or whether it's a win, there's always the support and emotion. I try to tell them guys, hey, I'm from the city. I think I can speak for the 210. We love y'all and we support y'all. But even when all the yelling and everything's going around, you feel the vibrations, you get into it. But for me, I always try to stay as focused as I can because I'm running around so many times just making sure I have what any of the players necessarily need. The players are phenomenal too. I love our players. There's a lot of humility. There's no ego. I'm a high school coach interning, trying to make it like they're trying to make it. And they welcome you in, call you coach, address you, very respectful. It's all love. And I feel like that is something about our team that's unique. I know a lot of other teams, they could talk about their fans, they could talk about their players, but it's something when it comes to the Brahmas and the Brahma love.
There it is.
well, and
I
I will say
from a
this.
coach.
Yeah, I will say this from personal experience, Coach. If you ever get a chance to travel with us, whatever we can do to help make that happen, whatever, I want to make sure that you go with us and see the difference between the San Antonio fan base and specifically our biggest rivals, the St. Louis Battle Chickens. Okay. I've been to their games. I've heard their 35,000 people yelling. And our 12 to 15 is twice as loud, guaranteed. I had a conversation with the person next to me. during a critical third down stand and had a normal conversation like we were just talking out on the street.
They
And
not
in,
like
in
us.
our in our house,
Mhm. They
In
in
not
our
our
house,
like
you
us.
can't do that.
Mhm.
You cannot do that. Okay. So I want you to travel with us to see just how important what you just said is.
Yes, sir.
That
Oh,
this
yeah.
is an
Oh, you
organic
know what?
thing.
You definitely hear us at the on the road games. You definitely hear the Brahma crowd.
Mm,
Oh,
Show up.
yeah.
Yeah, talk
walking-
about them road games, man, y'all, because that's big. This probably the only
Yeah.
fan base in the whole league that actually
Oh,
travels.
yeah, we
They
are.
do,
We
I ain't never
we
did it with them, but they do, Talk
so
about it,
I
y'all.
think
Talk about it.
I think for us, I think our funnest game where we're the loudest is probably always going to be Arlington, just because we got love hate for them. We're still one state, one love,
Mhm.
but our I-35 rival it's there.
Now we
So-
run Texas.
Oh yeah, period. So like even just our 100, 150 of us little fans in our little area, we will drown their little stadium out. Period. And our they see us, they hear us. Even in Memphis, there was just 8 of us. 8 of us against their 8,000. 8,000.
Yeah.
The way we got heckled, the way they talked so much smack to us, and we just kept our cool. And at the last minute, all their jaw dropping, they ran out real quick. So we hold our own,
Yep.
even if it's 100 of us. We bring it. We will bring it.
Something about
Yep.
San Antonio. I mean, it is what it is.
Hmm.
It's all about the 210, about the Alamo City. We're just different.
I don't know, John
See,
David.
this is a Battle Chickens fan right here, so you know.
Yeah.
just ignore it.
Yeah, he a Battlehawks fan. We don't respect him, man. We don't got nothing to say to him, man. We don't touch Battlehawks, man.
John, you know we're family, nothing but love. I'm super excited you guys finally changed out your turf and changed out some light bulbs in your dusty dome. But make sure that they
I
go
know
around
the
and
little
wipe off the
renovations,
seats
and they all
stuff.
happy for them
Little
renovations.
renovations.
So, what was
Overdue.
your favorite moment just from this past season?
If I had to pick a moment that I guess sticks out, the first game I was in the box, and I don't know when we ran the fake punt.
Ooh, yes.
The
You'll,
6-6.
6.
you'll see me in a box going like this, surprised with Coach Reed and Coach Lewis hugging in the background and everything. And the reason why that was special to me is because the team that ended it was the team that we began with, and then I thought that was a good way to start our chapter for this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought how we finished, because even, with the XFL under Coach Ward, we didn't, there was still some, I guess you could say, searching for identity, trying to bring it together, trying to see how this would process. And we still had our chances. In DC, they were the number 1 team that year. And we had them on the ropes, And then so for it to end the way it did, for me, because I had just got there. And then I'm like, that's it. So to turn around 1 year later, we're going to start off with them. And then we solidified and jumped on them. I thought that was phenomenal. If it wasn't that memory right there, I loved how we turned up on Michigan, just how the
Yes.
I thought that was a very great executed game. And then obviously us getting the XFL championship, and then, even making it to the championship. Obviously things didn't turn out the way it did, but the fact that we get there just to show people like, hey, we're a contender.
Yes.
Don't sleep on us, for what you might have thought about San Antonio, here we are. And so I would say those are like things that just really stick out, other than the camaraderie and just the relationships and the experience I made. I mean, I can't talk enough about that.
Yeah. So I do want to ask a question that one of our guests in the chat had asked, because I think it's important to think about this from you guys' standpoint, from the coaching standpoint. What can we do as fans to help you guys spread the word about the Brahmas here in the 210, the 830, the 361,
956, all of it.
956? What can we do to bring more awareness as a fan base to the Brahmas so we can get more people involved and have them catch the fever like we did?
There's some things that I'm going to try to initiate when the season starts, that I'll be able to talk with Mr. Lillibridge about, if he'll give me. So there's some things that I've moved on that I think, might be of benefit. I think, you know, the podcasts such as this, the social media aspect, because that's what everybody's checking. You know what I think it is? I think the UFL we're new. You know, I think, you know, because this has started, ended, there was an inconsistency, but now here's year 3. You know,
Yep.
no, it's not the XFL, but it's the UFL. It was on ratings. It's going to be shown on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There is a crowd. There's still a venue. It's still an opportunity for people to join. It's football in spring. How can you hate that? And obviously, our guys are legit because they're going to the NFL. And then we
Yep.
get some NFL guys back. You could love Dallas, you could love Houston, but how can you not love the city of San Antonio or any of one of the teams, you know, necessarily? So I think, you know, just a continuation, I think it takes time. I think it takes time. And I think, you know, the UFL, you know, will have personnel that will be able to speak to that as far as like how they want to execute that.
Okay.
I know that's probably
And-
not the direct question, but it's so vague because I don't want to make sure I speak on that. So
Well,
Okay.
and, you know, but you're right though. Like, you know, especially San Antonio, we've been burned before many times for spring league teams, and so a lot of the people are a little gun shy about, you know, kind of wanting to hop on the bandwagon. But as the team kind of stays here, as the league stays, as we get more UFL players in the NFL, as you know more. You know, the bubble NFL players come back to the UFL, that's just going to like broaden the league to everybody else, which is, hey, this is legit spring football. It's here to stay. So, like I said, it's a process, but
look at the NFL's adopted, you know, our kickoff regiment. Our offensive coordinator, you know, he was on EA Sports. You know, he worked, you know, close with them. So there's going to be some UFL items that are going to be, you know, probably moving forward in the course of EA Sports. There's an investment right now, you know, with you know, Miss Garcia, Mr. Johnson, Redbird Capital, you know, and some of the other players, you know, Fox, etc. There's an investment. So I don't think that it's gonna. I understand as far as like with the Commanders, with the Talons, and you know, and etc. But I don't think that's the experience. And I think, you know, with us going into the 3rd year and what the city has been able to see and witness, I think there's some trust that, you know, that we can keep with that.
yeah. Oh, I definitely agree.
So there's one other thing I think that would really kind of help out, and this is going to be a shameless plug, Coach, and so I apologize in advance. Sorry, not sorry. But I think there's one piece that we could probably bring into the puzzle that would definitely help out with solidifying that fan base and that identity here. And it's a gentleman that you probably know, and you probably know quite well. We had the pleasure of having Milton Hope announce that Birmingham game, and it was probably one of the most exciting games that we did.
There you go.
If you don't recognize the name, you'll definitely recognize the voice because he's the announcer that's at Rutledge Stadium that
Yes.
covers Judson, Wagner, and the glorious San Antonio Veterans Memorial High School football team.
Well, I listened to Brahmasita talk about how he caught on to the crowd and the vibe and how he was saying "Go Brahmas" and etc. I'll say this: there are a lot of things that when we talk about as far as spreading, you know, as far as bringing those relationships closer with the city and with the Brahmas. I want to make sure I don't speak out of turn. I definitely think having roots or solidifying, you know, personnel with the city, utilizing personnel to be like, hey, you know, not only are we here for the city of San Antonio, but hey, here's one of your own as well, because I'm a product of that. And all I am is simply just the instrument or hopefully an inspiration for another coach, DJ right here, you know, with the youth league and what we can do with that, or any other high school players and coaches who might want to. The only best thing I can do with that is just suggest it. I don't have that kind of pull, though, unfortunately.
Hey, you know what? We've been suggesting Milton
Suggestion
Hope
box, email.
since the Birmingham game. So
Hashtag Hope for Hope.
that's right.
Okay.
Hope for hope.
He also happens to be the voice of the UTSA Roadrunners. So
Well, I'll tell you this,
it's a voice that everybody recognizes.
I'll see him this Friday in our game against Harlandale, and so because he'll be announcing it, so we'll talk.
Yep.
Tell him SAJ said what's up.
We'll do.
Hey, Coach. So I got a very, very, very hard question for you coming up. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
So you a native of 210, right?
Correct.
Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay, cool. So can you please give me your top 3 places to eat? I got to.
Taco places, Mexican
No.
food,
Let him answer.
restaurants in
Like
general.
anything in particular? Because I travel a
What are
lot.
your
So
top
I'm
3?
Give me your top 3. And San Antonio.
You know there's no such thing as tacos outside of the 210.
No.
Bro, there ain't tacos
Ooh,
outside of 1604.
I'm gonna say this:
No.
if we're talking about Mexican restaurants, and I don't want to generalize,
your top 3. Oh, your favorite top 3. No, don't listen to them. Your favorite top 3.
So
You've been here long enough, Coach. Come on now. Come on.
There's a there's a Nigerian spot off of Calabria.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Hold
Wait,
on.
I need to write this down.
Let me get my notes out.
I know.
It's a Nigerian spot. It's off Calabria between 1604 and 410.
So you know I ain't faking. Put my notes out. What's the name of it?
It's called Kabams, Kobams. They might have a different
Kaboms.
name, but, it's
Like shish
legit.
kebabs.
I love it. I love it.
Kebab.
There's a spot that I like to go to. It's Taqueria Jalisco.
Coach. You moving a little too fast for me. All right. You said
You can watch the
kebab.
replay,
Hold on,
DJ. It'll be
you
fine.
gotta get the
Wait,
stone
come on.
tablet out and kind of chisel and
Come on, guys. This is my first
Oh.
episode back. Give me some time. All right, look. You said kebabs. Kabobs, right?
Kobams.
Wait,
Ko.
It's 2 people talking at a time, man. Hold on. All right, Kobams
on Calabria.
off Calabria. Okay, cool.
Come on.
All right, go ahead. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I'm a burger guy. I can't tell you exactly the street, but I could tell you the area. It's called the Lord's Kitchen.
Lord's Kitchen. Okay.
Yes.
Y'all know it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got my picture on the wall. Y'all ever ate the burger?
Dang. You ate a big burger?
Not been able to do that.
5
Not
pounder,
yet.
I believe.
Wait, how many? Wait, you
Lord's
said how many
Kitchen.
pounds?
It's about 3 pounds. The Lord's Kitchen.
Oh geez. No, I
The
have not
Lord
had
does
that
not
burger.
skip out on meat.
No.
No.
But that's a fantastic
No.
place to eat.
It's the only equivalent that I'd ever seen to Little Hips, Idiot's Delight.
Come on, Jesse.
You've been here. You remember Little Hips. But this is the only burger in town that ever came close to it, and that Little Hips is gone now. So this is by far not
The
what we have
names.
left.
So it's called.
But it is a great substitute.
The Lord's
It's
Kitchen.
called the
Lord's
Lord's Kitchen, right?
Yep.
Lord's
it's on,
Kitchen.
I guess you could say it's off of 35, and that would be where the Silver Stars used to practice by St. Philip's, and I think
Okay.
by that Fort Sam Gate.
All right, hold on, Coach.
Yeah.
So at Kabams, right? What you get off? What's your favorite? You gotta give me the favorite too.
God.
Egusi soup, EGUSI. It's a Nigerian dish, and fufu, FUFU.
I've always wanted to try that.
It's legit. Love it.
All right. So what
Well,
about?
I guess we're
go
going
ahead.
remote next week.
Right? All right. So what's
What
your
First
about
time.
favorite?
Lord's Kitchen?
Huh?
What about Lord's Kitchen? What's your favorite?
It's a hamburger.
Oh man, yeah,
No,
just the burger, the
a burger?
Lord's
Okay.
burger or the Get Down burger. You can't go wrong with
The
that.
Lord's
Okay,
Burger.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. You got one more, Coach.
There's a place by Roosevelt. It's a Jamaican place, Jamaica.
What's up with the Nigeria, Jamaica? You international with it, huh?
I you know what? I eat a lot of those. It's just what's been on my mind, or at least what I want.
Somebody said I like Wendy's.
Yeah.
Papa South Military.
Hold on. So what's the Jamaican spot?
Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaican drink. Okay.
And then
Jamaica twice.
and then from my neck of the woods, you can't go wrong with anything off of Marbach in regards to
No, you did not.
Period. Marbuck Hood over here.
Oh, what?
Let's go,
Okay, exit 7.
No, you did not say Marbach.
I'm Marbuck
Didn't y'all
and
tell me to stay off of
1604.
Marbach? They told me to stay off Marbach.
I
We
went
said
to
don't
Jay.
shop on Marbuck.
I went to Jay. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Don't shop on Marbuck, bro. That's
They-
it. It's not legit. I mean,
No,
it's cheap.
Only time I go
My
You
to
can
fault.
shop
Marbach
on Marbach.
is Hector's
I
Tire
make
Shop. That's
Marbach.
it.
Hector's tired.
I know.
Shout out
No.
to Hector's free publicity.
Yeah. I ain't mean to shout them out, but I mean that's the only way I go. The only reason why I go to my box because they told me to stay off my box. So I'm trying to stay safe.
Since you said you're a burger guy, have you ever tried? You ever had Mark's Outing off of Commerce?
Yes, Cherry Street, Commerce and Cherry Street by
Yes, sir.
Like Commerce and Pine, a little close to that.
Sunset Station. Mark's Outing's good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
that's one of me and Jay's favorite places to go.
Mark's Outing is
Yep.
really good, especially after a Brahma game. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
We always tailgate, so one of these times, if I don't know if you're able to, you should come check out tailgate.
I think
We're
I
out
need
there.
to.
Oh, you need
I think
to.
you
We
do.
get down. We get
Yeah.
down.
I finished
Yeah,
my
we'll
work pretty
even-
quickly, so yeah, I need to.
There you go.
We will make
Hey,
sure
we're
that we
there
have
for-
non-alcoholic beverages for you.
We're there 4 hours early, so
Yeah, we're there
before
as
the
soon as they let,
gates.
as soon as they let us
we're in line.
So.
You could tailgate and then walk right in the back and then go
Yeah,
to work.
we'll
Right.
guide
Yep.
you. Yeah.
We'll give you some food and some drink if you want.
Hey, I'm with it. As soon as the game finishes, I'm hopping in the car, going, breaking the film down. So yeah, and then I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. So yeah, no, that sounds like a great idea.
I don't think we ever tailgated after the game though, Coach. I don't know.
No.
You gotta come before the game.
That's what
Well-
he's saying. He got to come before. That way he's not hungry after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We-
you know what Jay and I
We do have some
gone,
stories.
we went to Mark's Outing after a game a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And now that one that was in River Center is gone, now you got to go to the original.
But you always got to go to the OG, man. That's just
It's
River
true.
Center.
That's
It's
true.
it's not the same
You
one.
have
Those
gone
girls
off
ain't near
topic.
season.
Off
I
topic.
know. We ain't talking about y'all,
Okay.
man.
Anything else
Coach-
for Coach?
Yeah. I
No, we
think
gotta let him go.
I
We
think we're
kept
probably
you
going to
on
wrap
way
it up
too
here.
long,
I
Coach.
enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
Hey,
I love
no,
it.
no problem. So, Coach, real quick, I'm going to ask you one final question, and no specifics or anything like that. But what can we expect to see from this hungry, energized, energetic, ready to run it back team? Can we expect big things this next year?
I think you're going to see I think you're going to see a team that still has the charisma and they still have the want to, but I think you're going to see a very an angry team, a team that felt like they were cheated to some degree.
Yes.
When I've seen some of the picks that that have occurred over Twitter, over X and over Instagram, some of the guys we signed. For example, the linebacker that we got, in place of Dormandy, we're building our Brahma Legion of Boom. I like how our defense is looking. I know a lot of people
Yes.
a certain way, people might have their perceptions in regard to the offense, but it's complementary football. We do good, they do good. There's a chemistry, so to speak. And I think there's a lot of pieces that have been made, acquired, that we're waiting for, especially when the NFL season happens. Like I said, I'm excited about Kellen and, some of the other, additives that are coming. And I think you're going to see some good things because you're going to see a seasoned team that comes back. You're going to see familiar faces that come back, but you're going to see new faces that are going to fit in like nothing changed. But my hope is that you're going to be sitting in the dome and you're going to be like, damn, just that reaction a lot. Damn, okay, let's go. Vamos, vamos, So that's how I feel. I feel you're going to see, a much hungrier team. Look, there's absolutely zero disrespect. And, I know that we have these rivalries and we have these fans. Skip Holtz, for the pedigree that he's from, he's a good coach and what he's been able to accomplish and et cetera. And I think that needed to happen. We needed to play a team like that. I feel like with Birmingham and especially with St. Louis, we grew this year. I felt like last year it was with DC. We had to go through those rough patches in order to grow. Without that, I don't think we would have evolved in such a way. So I'm really excited to see, how dangerous we're going to look. Seriously.
Nice.
Especially with the-
I'm excited, man.
As you can see, I'm an A&M fan, so I'm super excited about picking up Mon. I love that, and I know you said no disrespect, and that's cool. But when it comes to Birmingham and Battle Chicken.
I have to
I
play
mean
that
all the
position.
disrespect.
Oh, disrespect.
All the disrespect. I mean it. So.
I got you.
It's us against them, everybody. That's
Hey,
what it
it's,
is.
it's the Brahmas versus everybody.
There you go.
Period.
Yes,
last,
sir.
last year was revenge season, and I'm gonna take it off of Brahma Babe. This year's payback season.
Right.
Yeah.
Hashtag payback season this year.
All disrespect meant. Okay. All
Mhm.
disrespect
Oh,
meant.
disrespect.
I'm not. I ain't coming nice this year. Mm-mm.
Nah, neither are we.
Mm-mm.
Good.
There you go.
Coach, I know you've got some great things coming up. I know you need to focus on, some potential playoff runs for Veterans Memorial High School. So we wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you.
Tell our fans where they
Good
can
luck.
find you, your social media stuff, X, Twitter, MySpace. How can fans connect with you and follow you and keep in touch with the latest and greatest of Coach?
My main social media handler is going to be on X, Twitter. It's Coach M. Bullock. Very often, anything that's UFL or Brahma or the Hornsford podcast, I'm displaying. I want to rep the city and, everything about what we have. We have something very sincere, something nice, something that I think the city needs that we have not had a chance. Dallas and Houston have it, but we have something that I think is just more personable, and I really want our community and culture to get behind it. I do not want this team to leave. Like I said, I remind the players all the time that we love them, and by us having just those relationships with the community, so any updates that I can provide, I know there are a lot of questions, even as a fan and as somebody who somewhat worked behind the scenes. I know that people have a lot of questions as far as like the travel or the basis or, the draft and et cetera. And so, I always try to do my best to explain those so people are educated. And that way you understand your team and what your team is doing, because then all that does is build closeness.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach M. Bullock at Twitter.
That's crazy, man. Well, Coach,
It is.
again, we cannot thank you enough for coming on today. We wish you the best of luck in this, last part of your season and the push for the playoffs. A little biased. I'm definitely pulling for you, having to know, a certain somebody who's on that squad and comes from a very, very well vetted football pedigree. And so I'm hoping you guys just go out there and absolutely crush and get that 5A state championship and maybe show Judson what it's like to win. I said what I said. I don't care. I'm a Roosevelt guy. I said it. But Coach, we absolutely love having you on. Thank you again so much. We're going to go ahead and move you back to the green room. If you just want to hang out there for a little bit, we'll finish up the show and then we can, say our goodbyes afterwards. Or if you need to jet, we totally understand.
No,
But
Coach, thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining us, man. This has been fun, man.
thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Hey, hold on. You power lift?
I'm the head powerlifting coach.
God.
You can talk afterwards. Look at you.
yeah,
All right, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
All late.
This
Equal.
man's
Coach,
strong out here,
got
man.
some-
He's strong.
we got some bills we got to pay. So we're gonna take care of the bills. We'll come see you at the end of the show if you want to hang out in the green room.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
There you go. You are crazy.
Okay.
Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
So,
Oh,
Jackie,
God.
Hey,
would you like to do the honors and help us pay
Oh
some
yeah.
bills?
Pay some bills. We ain't got no bills to pay.
I know.
Nah, just kidding. We can
Oh,
talk
bills, we ain't
about
got no pay.
we can talk about how much fun we had on Thursday.
Oh, yes.
guys.
Thursday was a blast. Thursday was a lot of fun.
So much fun. It was our second year of doing the
Good job.
how
Aw.
cute are we?
Look at Jesse
thank
in the
you,
back. She still
Captain.
don't
And
care.
just in the
You
back, just
know,
don't give a damn. Just eating his burger, man. That's
thank you to let me get that off your face. Oh, that's on my face. What the heck? Sorry, AFN. Thank you, AFN. I'm gonna take you off for a second. Thank you. We had so much fun at the trick or treat at Josabi's. It was our second year, and guess what? We didn't run out of candy this year. But let me tell you a fun story. Miss Wednesday. How many times did Miss Wednesday come to our table? The first time she came, she took all of our Reese's. We had 2 bowls. She went through the bowls and took out every single piece of Reese's Pieces. She came back a second time.
If you're gonna pull candy out of it, might as well go for the best one. So.
She came out a second
Sure.
time, and she got some more Reese's Pieces. and then we were we were already closing up shop, and here she comes again, and she asked for the whole thing. She said, "Can I
That's
have
fair.
the rest?" No, ma'am, I'm sorry. We're gonna give this to the other kids. But she was so cute. But James was there. Shout out to James Carr. He always pulls up, shows up wherever we need him. He is always there, ready to do community stuff. He came out this year more prepared than I did. He had the background going. He brought the trophy.
Yep.
He brought his award from the Horns Forward podcast. The trophy that's named after him, the world's hardest hardest worker in the room
Hardest working man in
award.
the room.
It's James Carr Award, so it's a him award. He was super happy about that. He takes it everywhere, so you see it in his pictures now. Hey, if you
Yep.
need your tickets, hit up James. Season tickets. He will hook you up. Section 108. Section 108.
134.
108.
134.
134 is on the other
108.
side. If you want the party zone, 108.
108. That's me.
That's where you find us. We're
It-
all right
if
there.
you want to have some real fun, come to 134.
Look, if you got a mouth on you and you like to talk trash, but friendly trash, hit up these guys right here.
Come on.
Yeah, they got mouths on
The
them.
Muffets. The
They got-
Muffets down
They got
there.
mouths on them. They got
Yeah.
mouths on them.
Brahma 1 and Brahma
Yep.
2.
Right.
They're your
Yep.
guys. They can definitely help you out with that. But thank you, James, for showing up. We got a lot of people signed up for the fan club also. So he was giving out the swag, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you to Joe Sabis for just inviting us again for a
Mhm.
second year, because we do actually have a lot of fun hanging out with them. And doing the community thing. It's always fun. I know we didn't do a whole lot this off season. It's just because we all traveled so much. I was so tired, exhausted at the end of it. So now that things are starting to happen a whole lot better for us, as far as the league bringing out stuff much quicker, we can plan a
Mhm.
lot more ahead of time. So it won't be so exhausting, because I felt like I was planning literally the week before. So it was very tiring. And trying to be on everybody. So hopefully next season will be a little bit easier for me. And because I did miss doing stuff off season, but we all really needed the break. But this was our first big event that we did last year, and it was a lot of fun. So we did that.
And
what
it
else,
was a
guys?
really good turnout. I know
It
last year,
was.
It was a little kind of, because it would have been raining all day, and
Yep.
so it was a good turnout last year, but this year there was a lot of people, and
Yeah.
it was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
And I talked to the team. I don't even know how many. James said I don't even have to do anything. He's like, you do everything for me, because I'll talk up the team. I'll be like, have
Yeah.
you been to a game? Why not? What do you
Right.
mean you haven't heard about it? I am a fan. I've been to all the games. I'm like OG fan. You are missing out. All you need is just one game. One
Yep,
game,
yep.
even one tailgate. Hang
Right.
out with us for the entire thing, and I promise you, you will want to continue to come. You'll want to sign up for your season tickets. It is so much fun.
I got my merch in regular rotation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I picked up some nice little swag. Look. I wish they would have had this at the championship game, but let me tell you what, they have the rally towel now.
Ooh.
Whew.
Yes.
I wish they would have had this at the championship game, but you can find that on the shop right
They
now.
need to cut
It's
one side
legit.
in half.
I mean,
Yep.
I want to. And they have some other cool stuff that came out. All the teams, I might put some red marks. I probably will put the little red circles on everybody else, but they have some really cool stuff in the shop.
Seven things of garbage, and
I know. Why would they do that to merchandise?
Right.
Jeez.
They destroyed it.
Yep.
Yep.
Ugh.
That just means we just put the logo on.
That'll
The
kill
whole
your
entire
resale value
season.
right there, man.
I know.
It
I
is.
can't do anything with this trash. Anyways, but that's really what we had left. We had a really great conversation with Coach. It lasted much longer than I thought. So that's really all we had today. We just want to thank Joe Sabis for last week. Remember to like and subscribe and follow us. Also follow our brother station, Texas
the
Talking
brothers.
Football, on Tuesday. They come out
Yep.
every Tuesday. Make
Did
sure
have
you
something
like and
wanted
follow.
to show off, Jackie?
What?
Did you have something else? Did you have something else you wanted to show?
What?
A little wooden.
Oh yes, Rig. Okay, look. Thank you for reminding me. If you
Yep.
have not, I know he's probably on a plane or he's probably not watching right now, but Rig Rocker, he is doing some amazing woodwork and stuff. and he made this little ditty for me. It has okay, that's how many miles I traveled last season. Has my name, has a couple of my favorite pictures. This is the Memphis 8 right here. And
Yes.
then over here was when we were in St. Louis. Look, even one of your children are on there. Bulls on tour. Bulls on Tour 2024. He makes them really nice. It's really sturdy. I cannot wait to hang this thing up. But check him out. We will post him on our page as well, so you can check him out. He does customization. But thank you, Rig. I love it. Thank you for letting me
And he's doing a lot of
commemorate.
stuff with glasswork and stuff.
Yes,
too now.
Glassworth too.
Go to his page, look at it. I mean, it's really nice work. It looks really awesome.
It does have sparkles.
I mean, you know, pretty much, you know, it's got like the lights with the little glass things that pop up. He does stuff like that.
Yeah, very
Check out his
creative.
page. I mean, there's probably something that you find that you would want on there. So
Nice woodwork. Thanks, Mom. Tell Dad I love him.
Thanks, Mom.
Yes. Thanks,
Well,
Mom.
Anything else, guys?
I think that's pretty much it for right now. I
back,
believe next
no?
week. Huh?
I said, you know, we just back. You know?
We
Back
back.
like we
Back.
never left. You know, I know y'all was back last week, but it is what it is. We back. Best podcast. I'm gonna say it again because I said at the beginning of the show. Say it again towards the end of the show. Best
So y'all can be
podcast
reminded.
USFL. Best podcast XFL. Best podcast UFL. What else I'm missing? Yeah.
Best podcast for Brahmas.
Everybody watch us. You know what I'm saying? I know the front office be on here lurking. See what we talking
Hey,
about.
guys.
Hey.
Best podcast for the best fan base.
You know,
Right.
Hit us up. We
you got-
want to
you got-
help you.
You got the Rivals fans in here too. You know, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
all love, but
No,
hey, we coming for the number one spot next year. That's all it is.
100%.
Payback
Birmingham
season.
just holding it for us.
Yeah.
Hashtag payback season.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, horns
Guys,
forward.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on all the social medias, all that good stuff that Jackie already said. But most importantly, we wouldn't be here without you guys watching us. So thank you. We appreciate each and every one of you, even our St. Louis fans that just have not converted
Don't
over.
talk
Raw
for
room,
me.
not like us. Raw room, not like us.
They not
just
like
saying.
us. They not like us.
But they can be. They can
But
be.
they
That's
never
the
will
thing.
be.
They
Let's
won't
not
be.
give them that much credit.
Yeah, don't bring that. You know.
No, no. The ones
Anyways,
that I know, the ones that I know can be. That's why
only
you
a
see them
few, a
posting.
handful.
Yeah,
A
that's why you
handful.
see them in enemy territory wearing our gear, because
There you
that's how
go.
much love they have
Thank
for
you.
us.
Right.
So
There you go.
same thing with Marco up in Arlington. He's got that
Hey,
horns forward,
That's
man.
right. He
Aw.
was showing the horns forward in his picture. You know.
Yep. So okay, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Bye.
Jackie, will you kick us out, please?